Welcome to the Brie Pod. It's time to switch things up. So, I am bringing in a monthly segment called the Roaring Lioness Babes with a co host, Priscilla Parent.
Hey guys, I am Priscilla and I am a spiritual business mentor. And I am really excited because we're doing the Roaring Lioness Babes Together segment. And I'm so grateful that Brie has invited me here in this space so we can co create together and really bring some beautiful topics and beautiful content and little golden nuggets for you guys for your life so you guys can really expand and grow.
Yes, and we are focusing on the career and spirituality aspect of that. So, I'm very excited to do this with you.
Me too. Me too. I think all of our spiritual business people that are watching this will find a lot of value in it.
Absolutely. Um, so we were talking about how we'd love to have our ginger ale moment. So let's introduce the audience to that. Pop that ginger ale.
Woo!
And this is where we are going to have a nice conversation with each other, bringing you guys in before we sit down and talk to our guest. So, Priscilla, let's talk. We are both from a small town. We love our small town, but we have goals, right?
Yes.
So what I'm thinking is, so I feel like we should bring this to the audience, but Priscilla and I were talking back and forth, and when you're from a small town, as most of you may know, or maybe some of you don't, you feel like you're kind of stuck. Like you're stuck in this box. You don't like that it's you get a house, you have a child, and you live in your town. And there's nothing against any of that. So no one take offense. But then you've got the entrepreneurial side where we want to grow and expand and meet Tony in person, Tony Robbins, for any of you that is curious, meet the boss babes in person. So tell them what we were talking about with Beyond the Reef. What does Beyond the Reef mean to you?
So, Beyond the Reef is really jumping out of that comfort zone and really connecting and networking with other people that are like minded. And it's really bringing yourself to that next level of thinking, that next level of being, and that next level of connecting. So I know you and I have had many conversations of, okay, we've kind of outgrown our space. Like
Yeah.
you, and I think that's part of that small town mentality is that growing. And it's like, how do I know more? How do I do more? How do I be more? And part of that is jumping off the reef.
Yes. And I agree. And we can also give credit to Moana, the movie, because as you know, when she's talking about going, or for some of you that may not know this, sorry, spoiler alert, it's basically Moana is singing and she's talking about how she loves her island, she loves her people, she wants to go into the calling of being the leader because her dad is the leader of the island, but she knows there's something more and she can feel that urge. She knows, but beyond that, the water, there's something there that's for her. And of course, later she learns that it's really has been inside her. But I think that that same thing goes with us and what we're doing because we love our hometown. It's not like we don't love the people here. We don't love the experiences. And both you and I have family that are entrepreneurs, and that's kind of what's beautiful about small town is a lot of entrepreneurs come from that. but then it's keeping it in the small, like only this area knows you. And with technology, it's like, but why can't we be all over the place? You know?
I agree. So, like, when this all started and when I started my business, Tarot Tuesday Tribe, I envisioned it kind of like we had said, in the box and just locally. And I was like, I just want to serve like my friends, my family, my community, like close knit people. And I remember speaking with someone and they're like, okay, like there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm like, no, there's nothing. And then we were hit with a pandemic, and that really had me tune in and be like, okay, I need to pivot and I need to start setting my systems and setting up strategies around doing things online because you couldn't do it face to face without like regulations and rules and stuff. So I turned to the online space, and then that's when we had really been like, wow, there's a lot more to this. And really realizing I want to serve people like globally.
Absolutely. I mean, I know that you follow the Boss Babe uh, girls and women, I should say. And it's still shocking to me that they have only been out there for 3 years. It's like, it gives me hope. I'm like, we're gonna be out there. It's gonna happen. Um, but I'm just glad that like we're bringing this space to be a place for you to help you outgrow those limiting beliefs, because when we say small town mindset, you don't have to be from a small town to have this mindset. It's just a expression where it's like your limiting beliefs are what get in the way of being as big as, I don't want to say Kim K, because she, I don't want to like give credit to like more so like Joanna Gaines or like Boss Babe, Tony Robbins, like being up there, like just because I guess it's that limiting belief, you know?
Yep. Yep. That can hold you back, like that fear, that block around all you've ever known and
Yeah.
shift it into something new.
Yeah. And I think that this segment is going to be helpful for everyone listening, because we want to bring in some guests to help show you what the opportunities are out there, how some strategies that can help your business now, and how to like eliminate some of these blocks.
I know, I'm excited. So excited. And I feel like the people that we are attracting to these segments are really going to be beneficial for your listeners on the Brie Pod.
Absolutely. And for your peeps, your business peeps. Um, so I'm super excited. And as we get a flow, this portion with the pop that ginger ale will be along the lines of like what we learned that week. What was, and it may, bring us into who we're talking to. So definitely excited for that. So Priscilla, if you want to announce, who are we talking to today?
So today we are speaking to Jay Saint-Hilaire, and he is a mentor. He is a trainer. He is a course builder. He is also experienced in real estate. He also wrote a book.
Yep.
He is also from a small town. Like
In
he's
our small town.
Yes, he's a small town man uh, from our area in Franklin County. And it is just so inspiring to watch him and listen to him because he gets it. He gets it.
Yeah. And he has like had to face those limiting beliefs as well. And he conquered his limiting beliefs. And I love that he is here to share that with us. So, without further ado, thank you for everyone joining us for our very first Roaring Lioness Babe segment. Let's give a good round for Jay Sinclair. Welcome back.
Hey guys, we have Jay here with us. He's from episode 7. It is called Get a Mentor. If you want to go back and watch that, you can. However, we brought him in here in this space to share and elaborate on a quote that he had mentioned. It really resonated with Brie and I as we're small town girls. He is also from a small town and he's an entrepreneur. And we really feel like he's going to bring a lot of valuable information into this space for all of you guys. So I will let him take the lead on this and elaborate on his quote about small town minds.
Hi, Brie. Hi, Priscilla. Appreciate you asking me back again. And I'm so excited to talk to you guys and elaborate on some of the things I've learned, some of what I've learned from my mentor and life experience. I know we talked about the small town mindset, and there's a number of things I can say about that, but that's one thing that really anchored my progression was when my actually mentor told me that. He said, you have to lose your small town mindset. And I never thought about it like that. The only reason he said that because he was from a small town also. In upstate New York, matter of fact. And then he moved to Arizona and he went to all the big cities. I mean, he's taught in China, he's taught everywhere. So his experience knew what to tell his students. And it was to, you got to get out of your small town mind. And it kind of hit me. It's like, you're right. Because we think, the way we think changes. Even, let me give you an example. Just by going on vacation, I remember when my wife and myself we go on vacation and say, go to Florida or we go, on cruises and stuff, and you go somewhere else, you take in all of the things that you see that other people are doing and then the things that are happening. And you almost get something in your mind like, wow, I'd like to do that. Or, I build houses. So I'd see something that's a lot more elaborate than my hometown. And once I started thinking like that, what my mentor said to me really resonated because it was like, yeah, he's right. Because if we first of all, stay in your hometown, don't go anywhere, and stay in that same thinking, that small town thinking, you're not gonna, there's no way you can progress because somebody who doesn't expand your mind, it's almost like I remember somebody saying that when you stretch a rubber band, it never goes back to its original shape. And it's the same with your mind. When you get out of that small town mind, and you can call it whatever you want, get into the bigger town mind or just expand your mindset. Once you get out of that small town mindset, so many things open up and you actually start to learn more things that just pops in your head and it gradually gets better and better. And you feel more successful because you're like, man, I've never thought that way before. And I'm starting to think outside the box. I'm starting to think, about different ways to do things bigger and better.
I appreciate you sharing that with us because sometimes I think I don't know if we dove deep in that episode about what small town mindset actually means. But what I wanted to point out is I feel like some people feel like they have a limiting belief because they think, well, I'm from a small town, so no one's going to really hear my voice. My voice isn't big enough. And so with that, I just want to know like what advice would you give someone with that limiting belief that no one's going to hear you just because you're from the small town?
I would say not just I'm telling you because I know this, but I'm telling you this because I know this. I thought the same way. I've had limiting beliefs. When I was younger, I used to not go to school because I didn't want to get up and talk in front of the class. I didn't want to, I always thought that I was somebody lesser than everybody else. I wasn't good enough. I wasn't, tall enough. I wasn't muscular enough. I wasn't smart enough. I wasn't pretty enough. Um, all those things are limiting beliefs. And believe it or not, every single person has it. And it's like working against the grain. That's, as my mentor says, there's the negative guy or gal sitting on your shoulder every day, and it's your job to knock them off there. It's your job to develop your mindset. So that person's not there anymore, because it's there for every single one of us. The only ones that succeed are the ones who figure out how to get out of that small town mindset, how to figure out how to overcome our beliefs, because it's just in our mind. That's why people, mentors, especially, that's why we talked about mentors, is to get a mentor. I learned all this stuff from my mentor. We can learn it from books, we can learn it from shows, we can learn it from YouTube, we can learn it from everywhere. But when you work with a mentor one-on-one, and they actually tell stories about how I'm the same as you, my mentor's the same as me. When we realize that we're all limited until we boost ourselves to that next level. And one way of doing that is doing what we're doing right now, talking to each other, being on these podcasts and learning from each other. But learning from a mentor, for me, I know that I know the small town mind holds you back, and I know the limiting beliefs, and you just have to figure out and learn from a mentor how to expand and get unlimited beliefs, not limited. Hope that makes sense.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
It does. And I feel like it resonates too, like with us being from a small town. Brie and I have also had like conversations around this, and not keeping yourself like in that box. Just because you're in a small rural area doesn't mean you're in this box and you have to stay in this box. Like it's okay to pop out of it and explore and learn. And that's how you like grow, is really expanding yourself. Um, and I have a question too.
Sure.
So, my question is, what is one thing you wish you knew before starting a business in a small town?
I wish I knew my potential. Um, I wish I knew more about learning from someone else. I wish I got a mentor right off, because what you some people pay for a mentor, some people don't. I mean, when I learned from reading books, you can get a mentor by just bringing them out to eat. Say, hey, I'll pay for your lunch, pay for your coffee, or you can barter, you can do anything. You don't have to pay in cash. So when I first started, that's what I did, and took some successful people in my area and just went and talked to them. Said, hey, can I buy a coffee? Can I pick your brain? You know, if you want me to go work for a weekend for you for free, I'll go do it, just to learn how you do this. So, that's a couple things. So, I want to go back to what you talked about, uh, doing something learn by doing. Um, I want to get this exercise is the most important. It's a little off. I answered your question, hopefully, but I really want to talk about, say one thing about, is do one thing every day that scares you. That fear, that thing you talked about, getting out of your box. Because if you don't get out of the box, you're going to stay there longer and longer. If you start today, write down 3 things, and you only have to do one. Every day, do something that scares you, that you normally don't want to do, because learning how to do that habit will bring you the quickest way to that next level. So I hopefully answered your question too,
No, you
Priscilla.
did. You did. I feel like this highlights the importance of like action. So like you have those dreams and you have those goals, and you're in that box, and you talked about like you need to do. So like you're gonna have those fears, coming out. But highlighting the importance of action. Like even though you're afraid, that you can still make like that momentum towards it. Even small ones, like I feel like that still um matters, like even small ones towards
Absolutely.
a bigger goal. So no, I'm glad that you added that in there, because I think the people that are listening, that will be valuable for them to hear this, especially because a lot of them, it's scary coming out of the small box in the small town, in that small mindset, and there are fears that are going to come up. So I'm really happy that you shared that.
Mhm.
Yes, and I am too, because you actually answered my second question, so I have a different one for you.
I'm sorry.
No, it's totally fine. I think that it's important that you gave a tip on like how do you do that, and by doing one thing every day, I think that's important. But one of the questions I'm actually curious to ask you is, what made you come out of your box in the small town?
Wanting to be better, wanting to, I guess that is the drive. I don't know why, but since I was young, I don't know where it came from, but I had a drive to be better. I mean, I think we all do deep inside. We always think we can do better, be better. And it doesn't matter what that limiting belief sometimes says, well, you're good enough. You're good enough. But some of us, like us, and many more, just like that's not that's not all I have in the gas tank. You know, I think I can do more, and I know there's something more. I know there's something. I was put on this earth to do something more, and I guess that kind of push me. But what really pushes you is once you start learning something, uh, and then you see the action that you take, and then you see what it really the result. When you start seeing a result, that pushes you even more. That pushed me out of my box even farther because it's like, man, if I can do this, what more can I do? And it feels good to keep going because you feel that accomplishment. And especially when you know you have a mentor or somebody, friends or team members surrounding you, that even feels better because you're working off each other. You almost get to, I mean, you've watched The Secret, you know,
Yeah.
it's something that it's almost, let me give you another example. You get three people together and, or two people together, say, and there's always, it's just like there's a third mind that comes in. You know what I mean? It's almost like a third person that's not there that pops in and gives you these things in your head that you're like, wow, where did they come from? So your team and mentors and just doing things and being in the game, you're going to notice that all these things pop up that you're out of nowhere. You're like, wow, I never thought, you know, something comes into your mind or a better way to do it or an extra push. It just comes when you're in the game. That happens. Believe me, it happens more and more. Let me tell you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
That. So my next question, talking about like out of comfort zones and our limiting beliefs, I want to touch base about the pandemic. So when something really big hits your business, um, what is one marketing pivot you had to make in your business involving the pandemic in a rural area?
Let me be a little bit vulnerable because I got to be honest. I work a full-time job, and all my other marketing and real estate, and mentoring and teaching, all that stuff, I kind of backed off of it because of the pandemic. Because of, I mean, everything going on with my job, especially. I work on high voltage power lines. I never know where I'm going to be, so I'm kind of doing everything in the background. It's all extra. Early mornings, lunchtime when I can make calls, at night. So, but I kind of back off a little bit. So I can't really say I pivoted too much, but as a mentor, I can tell you, uh, if I was in it full bore, I would have, well, everybody's learned to use Zoom more, take advantage and learn technology more. I know that's a shift because I see it. You learn how to, learning how to do a podcast. You're learning new technology because of the pandemic. You have to shift. You have to say, okay, I can't do one-on-ones anymore. I can't teach people this anymore. How can I do it? And technology and Zoom is the way to do it. Telephone, somebody could switch. They never done much calling, one-on-one calling with your clients or customers. Get on the telephone. So not that I did every one of them, but I know what I have to do, what I would have done if I would have went full bore in it. I'm a little different because I work full time and do this part time.
I feel like a lot of our listeners actually can really connect with that, like working full time, starting your side hustle, working on your side hustle, your side business.
Yeah.
Recently just made that shift where I was a caseworker at DSS and I was in CPS, and I had made the decision because I was on the fence of doing two things that I loved doing, and I had to make a choice because I was like, I'm half here and I'm half here, and I really want to be in all here.
Yeah, I understand completely. We're all, it's funny how we all go through the same struggles. And the more I hear things from everybody, it's the same exact things. That's why I love being a mentor, because not that I know everything, but we all go through the same thing. So I love being able to help people with the struggles, because that's the other thing. I hate to digress, but I always do. That's the way my mind is.
That's
Um,
okay.
this the mentor thing. When I know we talked about not paying for it, but when you do pay for it, you pay for speed. So whenever you get anybody listening, whenever you have a course or you have something that you're going to monetize, because sooner or later you can't do it for free. You have to charge, because you have things to pay for. So, and I'm sure you learned from Dean and Tony about you're doing a disservice if you don't do this for people. So you're paying for speed, which means a mentor can teach you something in one day, even where it would take you months and months and months to learn, where I've seen it, I've done it. It costs you more in the long run. So if any way possible, mentorship is the best way to go with anything.
I appreciate you saying that, because both of you in many ways have mentored me in my own businesses and in life. So I'm very happy to bring actually two a part of my mentors here, so together. So I'm happy that you said that. And
Oh, it's
so
great to hear. I'm excited. I'm excited
yeah,
for you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, because
thank
I
you.
remember when you first started, all the struggles, and you've come a long way.
Yeah, I
You're
told you
doing
I would
well.
never do a live, and here we are.
Yeah.
I may have pushed that way out of the box.
Yeah, now
And
we're on a
that's
podcast.
what everybody needs. That's great.
That's-
A pusher.
That's the importance of team, and just all like-minded. We're all like-minded, and we want to see each other succeed. So it gives you a boost just when you see somebody that you're helping, right? Priscilla, I mean, it makes you feel good inside to see her doing it, right?
Yes, fulfillment. It's fulfillment for us, where we're like, oh my gosh, you're
Yeah.
killing it.
well, thank you guys.
Cool.
You're gonna see my red cheeks. um, Jay, before we let you go, I wanted to ask you, can you direct people to where they can find you on social media or your website?
My website is jsthilaire.com. I have multiple course sites, but right now they're being worked on. But Facebook, J. St. Hilaire, that's where I am normally. Instagram, J. St. Hilaire. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Tumblr. There's 2, 3 other ones, but mostly I'm on Facebook to get a hold of me. Send me a message. You can give my email out, jbtoggs, jbtoggs @yahoo.com. But mostly Facebook Messenger. If you got any questions on anything, I'm not afraid to help or answer them in any way, because that's what we do. We're here to help each other.
We appreciate that. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah,
Oh,
thank
it's a
you
pleasure.
so much.
Cool. I'll anytime. There's a number of subjects we can talk about too down the road. Don't be afraid to ask. I mean, there's just so much to talk about. I get excited about some of the things. So
Oh, I'm sure you'll be back, Jay.
Yep.
congratulations. Nice talking to you both.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I am super excited that Jay was able to join us for this episode. I think he just brings so much information that is very can resonate with you and I and others that are wanting to expand and wanting to grow, and mentorships. We both have been in our own kind of mentorships. You're kind of a mentor to me. Not kind of, you have been a mentor to me. So I'm very excited that we get to do this. So I wanted to add in the affirmations. And for those of you that may be new to our segment, because this is the new segment, or new to the Brie Pod, I should say, we do affirmations. So whichever group you resonate with, we do between 1 and 3 normally, but with Priscilla, we'll be doing group numbers 1 to 4. Whichever number you resonate with, that is your affirmation. So Priscilla, I'll have you take group 1 and 2.
So for group 1, the affirmation is I release my past mindset and shift into my new one. And then for group 2, it is I give myself permission to expand.
I love those. I resonate with both. So I'll take groups 3 and 4. So group number 3, your affirmation is I do not let fear dictate my outlook on life. And then for group number 4, your affirmation is I am the manifestation of my wildest dreams. And with that, you are worthy, you are cherished, and we are proud of you. Until next time on the Roaring Lioness Babes segment and the Brie Pod. Bye.